It's Sunday afternoon. I realised I know way less about what I'm doing my essays on this term than I thought I did. So I'm going to go to Tesco's now, get some pasta, make some pasta, and then I need to do a bit more work. A bit more work for the essay, I think. I think I'm going to buy a few other things as well. I'm going to get a tin opener because I bought some sweet corn, but I didn't bring my tin opener back up and I left it for a week, but it's not going to get any better, is it? So I'm going to see how much a tin opener is. Maybe a few other things as well, but there we go. This is my college.
I think you're seeing this on a Saturday, hopefully. Currently it's the Sunday before, and the plan is, I think I'll do my weeks so they kind of end on a Thursday, and then Friday I'll edit it and put it up on a Saturday. The reason for that is, Thursday feels like it will be the end of my week this term. I have a different tutor who set tutorial times and essay due in times at a different day of the week. Last term, I had my essay due in on a Tuesday, the tutorial was on the Wednesday, so I kind of felt that the end of my week was the Wednesday. But then I still had my Greek early on the Thursday, and so I often took Wednesday night off, or maybe the whole of Wednesday off, and that wasn't very good because I wasn't best prepared for Thursday. But now my essay's due on a Wednesday, and then on the Thursday we have the tutorial for it. So that feels like a natural end because now I can have this massive crescendo to Thursday as the end of my week, and then I can really relax on Friday, get one of these videos out, happy days. It also changes tutor to tutor on what you do each term. And our last tutor, in the group of 3 of us, wanted 2 of us to do an essay each week and 1 of us to do a commentary each week. So we would have slightly different tasks. And what that meant was 1/3 of the time we would do a commentary, which is slightly shorter and easier to write, takes less time during the week, and 2/3 of the time we would do an essay. But it just so happens that this term, when we're doing the Aeneid, which is a Latin text, as opposed to the Greek tutor who was doing Greek Iliad with us, wants us personally to, over the 8 weeks, do 4 commentaries and 4 essays, which means half the time we're doing a commentary, which means half the time we have less work. So that is a good thing. But my friend was very kind, and she gave me the ability to do the commentary this week, which is good because we only have half a week, so I only have to do a commentary, which is a smaller piece, as opposed to crank out a whole essay in half a week. I started doing a bit of work for it today. I didn't realise how underprepared I was. I've never done Latin stuff before, I've never touched Latin literature, and I just thought it wouldn't be that bad and I would just pick it up. But even before you get to the reading list, I have to do a lot of prior work, learning about the characters, about the storyline, about what even happens, all this kind of stuff, before I can even start the scholars. And that's probably not surprising, and it does make sense why they told us to prepare this if we didn't feel so confident in the VAC, the last VAC, which I didn't do because I was focused on collections, so I've spent the whole day doing that today. So that's what I did today, did a bit of work, realised I wasn't making so much progress, popped out to Tesco, and I took it quite chill today because collections only finished yesterday, and I do have enough time. And then tomorrow maybe I'll do a tiny bit more on the topic in general, and then the idea is Tuesday I'll specifically write the commentary for the specific question or the specific part that we're looking at, and then I'll have Wednesday to finish it off if I need to. But that's the plan. That's the start of the work this week. My Latin class starts tomorrow at 10 o'clock, so that'll probably be the next time I update you, but see you then.
I'm leaving on time today for my first Latin lesson of the year, which is good, because as I said last time in my review, the lesson technically starts at 5 past, and I would always come, leave my college at 0 o'clock, get there for 5 past, but today it's 10 to, so I'm leaving plenty of time. I'll get there. On the way back, I think I'm going to buy some bananas. Yeah, I'm feeling a tiny bit ill. I think it might be because I'm not getting enough fruit and veg, because that's something at uni that definitely drops. So I'm going to buy some fruit, try and incorporate that a bit more. So that's the plan. Then I'll go back and work for the rest of the day. This is the way I go to Latin every day. It's actually the most stupid door, because you have to use your fob and it looks like the whole thing's going to open. Then actually it's nothing like that at all. So you come to the side and you fob, and it's just this tiny bit of the door. Right, so you might have realised by now, but there was a change of plan. Actually, it turns out there was a lecture at 12 o'clock and our class finished at 11. So from 11 till 12, I messed around with my friend and then went to the lecture at 12. The lecture was actually brilliant, it was so good. Very charismatic guy, so that was brilliant. And I'm back in college now, I'll do a bit more work. Yeah, back in my room now, got my bananas, got some other stuff. But yeah, honestly, that lecture was really good. I finished my Latin at 11,
And then we realised, because I got a text on my classics group chat for the people in my college, that there was a lecture at 12. So with the only other first year from my Latin class, because as I mentioned, the rest of them are third years for some boring reason, we just hung around in Oxford for a bit. We went to the post office, Holland and Barrett, some fun stuff like that. To be honest, I wasn't always going to go to the lecture. I thought maybe we could just go back to our colleges, work on the essay for this week. But it was so worth going, it was actually brilliant. The lecturer just really was interesting. He gave loads of references, it was very funny, because it was about Roman law. And he was kind of talking about, at one point, the Roman guys just kind of reached the top of the political chain, and then they don't really know what to do. And it was a completely introductory lecture, and he was just doing it in terms of Pokemon, which was quite funny. You know, about how someone's a Blastoise and someone's a Charizard, and even though they're both all final forms, the water Pokemon wins, just some stuff like that. He also mentioned an episode of Peep Show, which is a brilliant show, something I watched the exact episode of, just by chance the day before I came to Oxford, so I felt very happy I understood that reference as well. But it was also very funny because he was obsessed with this one guy who's obviously, I guess, expert on Cicero, which is what this topic was on, called Dominic Berry, and he kept on mentioning this guy all the way through the lecture. Each time, you know, something on his sheet he said, oh, you know, this is a quote from Dominic Berry, or I put this on the sheet because it's in Dominic Berry's introduction. So this guy, Dominic Berry, got massive shout-outs in our lecture. The lecturer actually went to Oxford to do classics, but he did course 2 classics, which means he came in with no prior knowledge, and that's really cool. He finished that in 2006, and then 15 years later, if my maths are right, basically, he's finished his degree, done a master's degree, doctorate degree, and is now lecturing people on this stuff. So good for him, it's really cool. But he was just a fun guy. So I'm definitely going to go to those lectures for the rest of term. They're really useful. It's all part of this Roman, Latin stuff for this term. So definitely a success to go, and yeah, very glad I did. Once I finish this banana, I think the plan is go to the library, because it's 1:30 now, and actually I haven't done any work for today because I've been in my class and then hung around for a bit and then I had a lecture. So I'm going to start actual work for the day, probably do a bit of the commentary, which is this written work for the week, and also need to check if I have any other work for my Thursday Greek class. But that's the plan, and another update soon. So for dinner that night, I actually went to Victor's with 5 other friends, so we went as a 6. And we went here because we found if you could book in a special way, you get 50% off, which was an amazing deal because it was a really kind of posh, bougie restaurant. I had the salmon, which was very nice. Would not have been worth double the price, but very good value for single, and that was half the fun as well, getting half of it off. But it was nice to hang out with those people who I hadn't really hung out with much at the start of this term yet, so it was nice to catch up with all of them. And just a spontaneous plan that happened a few hours before, and then we booked, found out we got 50% off and decided to go.
The big gate's open today when I'm coming to my Latin class. That's funny, because normally I have to go through that tiny one. I feel like I'm walking over in style. I've come back from my lecture. I'm in the kitchen now, making some pasta. Where's the pasta? There it is. So I'm going to put the phone down, talk a bit about my lecture. But you know, if someone comes in, I'll have to stop recording. But yeah, the lecture was good. It was a linguistics lecture. That's one of the options in classics. It's now very technical. It's a bit like I feel I'm doing a STEM course. So all the other stuff is just about ancient history, stuff like that. But this, you know, it was fun. It was talking about different vowels and how they change and how they move. It was very, very technical in that kind of way. That's one of the reasons I like the course, because, you know, it swaps around a bit. It's hard though, because we don't really know what a past paper looks like or anything like that. We don't know what to make notes on and what will be most useful. So that's something to work out, because I listened to a TED talk once by Bill Gates or something like that, and he said, only make notes on stuff that's relevant. So that's to say, don't just, once you're reading a book, make notes on stuff that could be relevant in the future. Just make notes on stuff that you need to find out right now, as it were. But that's what I tried last time for my essays and stuff like that. And basically I would only take notes for the essay title. But I think I need to change that up now and make essays in general, and make notes in general, because you're never quite sure which bits will be useful in the final exam. So that's like a conceptual change I need to make. And that's the same for these lectures as well with linguistics. You know, I don't yet know which parts of the lecture are useful, so I just have to write as much as I can down, and hopefully some of it will be. This is actually so annoying in the kitchens. You have the different hobs at the top, and you have to turn it on before the hobs start to work. But this is the one I'm using, so I've been on this one for so long, and actually it's that one, because, you know, the 3 split up differently like that. It's those 3 there for those 3 there. But I think it's on. My pasta's on. It should be ready soon.
It's like 5:30 now, it's Tuesday. I'm tired. I just feel a bit clouded. Yeah, I can't work very well right now. Happens quite a lot this time. I need to work out how to fix it. I guess normally I'm done by this sort of time. You know, it used to be school, or, you know, during the vacs, during the holidays, I would probably still working by now. But there's more to do these days, so you have to keep working. I have my commentary due in tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and we only had half a week to do it. So it is more rushed than it would have been last term, and then next week we'll go back to having a full week, just because it's due in on a Wednesday and we didn't get back, you know, so it's like, you know, you can start working on the Thursday because we still had collections at that time. But I think the plan is I'll chill in my room for an hour, maybe eat something, just try and get some energy back, and then either work this evening a bit, start off the commentary, because I've done all the reading now, just need to write it, or, less preferable, go to bed quite early, not having done any more work tonight, and then just maybe wake up tomorrow and do some before Latin, then go to Latin 10 to 11 every day, and then finish it off. But I do want to really get some done tonight. I feel I should, or at least just have a really good plan of how it will look. You know, kind of like bullet points, and then I just need to flesh it out in proper English tomorrow. It will get done, but it's just long. So there we go. That's how I'm feeling right now.
6:52, did 50 minutes. Not going to be able to do much more right now. Maybe if I'm lucky another bit more tonight, but I'm not sure. It's 7:30, I'm going to go to bed now. It's unbelievable. My second Oxford vlog. I promise this is not normal, but that's the plan. I don't know what time I'll wake up. I think it must be a carbohydrate, just like sugar crash, because I did have 3 bowls of pasta for lunch, which is probably not the cleverest idea, but yeah, it's literally, look, 7:30. And I'm going to go to bed. Maybe I'll wake up early and see if I do that. It's midnight. I've slept a bit, and now I'm up again, which is obviously the case because I went to bed so early. So now what I'm planning on doing is getting my bag from the library, coming back here and doing some work, because if I'm up, I may as well be working. Work needs to be done at some point, and it's due in tomorrow, so that's the plan. I left my bag in the library yesterday, I say a few hours ago, because I thought I'd be back and I didn't realise I'd be going to bed. So I'm going to go get it now. Look, I'm in my Crocs. I'm just going to run over, get it, and do a bit more work, I think. There's literally no one here, which is not really that surprising. It is midnight. But you did think maybe there would be some people still working in the library late. No one up there either. Legendary. My friend, I texted him, said I was going to bed, and he packed all my stuff up nicely. What a legend. Josh, if you're watching this, I appreciate you for packing my bag. I mean, by myself, I may as well do a quick tour of this space. This is what we call the library extension, and it's part of the new building because that's the old library and they've built through. So we'll have a look at that bit there. That's where the steps used to be when they were redoing it, but now it's connected across. And then, if you go out of the library extension, here's another space. Here's the cafe properly. So there's going to be a proper cafe there at some point. Water jug, but this is the downstairs space of the new Levine building. I quite like to work on these ones here with some friends because here we have proper sofas as opposed to, you know, all of these other chairs. So that's the place I would recommend. We have a bit of other stuff like the auditorium down there, which I guess is a lecture theatre. That's a lecture theatre where they do some lectures, I guess, at some point or something like that for people. But yeah, come back to my room now, do a bit of work there. A few other lights on. I wonder if those guys are working as well. But yeah, that's the new building briefly. So here we go. Here's a fun little time lapse of me working from
20 to 1 for a bit of time. I was chilling in my room, and actually I definitely think I was more motivated because I knew I was going to film it for the video. But I know quite a cool shot, and I worked for a bit and then decided to go to bed shortly after, but there we go.
Okay, it's Wednesday. I've come back from Latin, and now I'm going to go and finish my essay. Last night was a bit of a mess, as you saw. Went to bed, woke up, did a bit of work, went back to bed, don't know how much I slept, ate some food, slept a bit more, but we're back on track. This is the back bit of my college. I don't think you've seen it much. That's the door I leave through for Latin. And yeah, to the library now. A bit more work, finish the essay today, and then we're done. It's 1:30 now. I'm making good progress with my essay. I feel like this every time. I get back from my class at 11, and it's always my duty on this day of the week to finish my essay off, and I always feel like I don't have enough time from 11 to when it's due in at 5, and then it always gets to about now and I realise, yeah, I do it every week, I always have enough time and it will be done, which is exactly the case today. So just taking a walk around my college for a break. I basically put everything in the right place now, and now I just need to make it into good English. That's the plan now. It's 3 o'clock now, and I'm making good progress with the essay. I'm basically done now. I'll check it again and I'll reference it and stuff because I've just put my references there, but I need to make it official. But, you know, we're doing fine. I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day now because, as always, even though I panic every time, I always finish exactly on time, or at least before on time. And then I can just chill. Maybe I'll finish editing this video. But there we go. Essay almost done for the week. Yes. Okay, right, it's 3:30, an hour and a half left and I've submitted my essay. So that's good. But you always feel bad when you submit your essay, but especially if it's before the deadline, because you're like, oh, I could spend another hour on it. I'm sure I could make it better. But you've just got to not think about that. Think, I've done well, submitted it. Now you allow yourself to relax. So that's the plan. See what I can do now. But yeah, I'm going to go relax. I've come into my room now. I'm going to chill for a bit. But we actually have formal dinner tonight. Formal dinner is when you go into the hall. And often there's just self-service. It's a bit like, you know, you go up to a canteen and you ask for what you want. But a few times a week, there's a thing where you can sign up. You've got to sign up in advance, so they have your name on the list. And they kind of bring the food to you, or it's a set menu. It costs the exact same as a normal self-service dinner would, so I like to go to them when I can. And I think I might try and go to the Wednesday ones this term, because it's nice. I finish my essay on the Wednesday, I get to have a nice formal dinner. So that's the plan. I've been to a few last time. I've done a video about it for Oxford, and then I did another one about the Christmas formal in particular. Check them out if you want. But I'm always really impressed with the food, so we'll see how this one is. Off to formal now. You probably can't see, but we have to wear a little gown as well. And that's the plan. So here we have my food that I had for formal. And actually, unfortunately, I think it was definitely the formal I've enjoyed the least so far in terms of the food. I actually really like the starter, so that was a massive win. But the main course, I wasn't really so keen on the barbecue sauce, which was obviously on the bottom of the plate, and, you know, kind of everything got into it. And the dessert was a lemon cake of some sort, which I also wasn't a massive fan of. But it's still very worth going, and amazing value for the price, which is like £4 something. So, yeah, still a win, definitely. I'm on my way to daily Latin now. I've had Greek. I actually hate my Greek class. It's no one's fault. The teacher's so nice. I find the class is so stressful. So I'm glad it's over. It's the most stressful hour of the week. But now I can go to Latin. And I've still got 2 more contact hours after that. But at least that's done. My Greek class is 8:45 till 9:45. And as it so happens, the amount of time it takes me to walk to Latin are actually probably going to be earlier today than usual. So my Latin starts at 10. Normally I would leave my college at about 57, 58, and today it's only 56, so that's good, I'll be early. It's 11 o'clock, I've just come back from Latin. Oh my gosh, that was painful. I can't believe it. I was thinking to myself during the class, is that what it's normally like? Because this is dry. The pace was slow, the questions were just, everyone was getting them wrong, it was just terrible. And I was thinking, surely it isn't normally like this, because normally I think it's quite fine. But the teacher did notice, and at the end he made a comment about like, oh, you know, it's particularly bad. And that was funny. He said like we must have all gone clubbing last night because it's the cheap night Wednesday night or something. So that was funny, but I'm glad it's not always like that. But I still have 2 contact hours left today, in 1 hour, having just had 2 hours of stuff, in 1 hour I've got another lecture, and then I've got to go to a tutorial. So I don't even feel like I'm done. So I bought a meal deal. I normally don't like to because I could just make my own sandwiches, but it'll give me way more than £3 of pleasure. Got a cheese sandwich or something like that, cheese and pickle, quavers, and I didn't even get an innocent smoothie this time. I got a chocolate milk because I just need the sugar. But then I'll be done. I finished my food and now I'm ready for my extra contact hours. That's really the thing about Oxford. You know, you don't have much time to relax. There's always something else to be doing, either more hours of stuff or more work. And yeah, people joke about, you know, having timed crying sessions in the library. Then after 5 seconds you have to stop, or 5 minutes, whatever it is. Of course that's an exaggeration, but I do feel like, you know, okay, I could have like 30 minutes off and now back for more stuff. But there we go, on to the next few hours of stuff. I'm done for the week. I went to the linguistics lecture, it was good. I had a 5-point highlighter, let me try and find it. This, I got it in the Freshers' Fair and it was actually so useful because we were talking about sound changes and in different languages, so you could highlight, you know, like all the F's go to a P or all the D's go to a T or whatever, and you know, it's in different places. That was really useful. And then I rushed back over to my tutorial. This was the first tutorial in the new term with a new tutor, new room, new subject matter, everything. It was actually really good. As I think I must have talked about earlier in the video, I'm approaching the tutorials differently this term, and I'm doing reading separately for the tutorials, and then I'll just use a bit of that reading for the essay, and that's definitely how you're supposed to be doing it, because I understood much more that was going on in the tutorial. It didn't feel random, I felt like I could answer more stuff. Huge win. So that's done now, we'll get our essays back at some point, and the collections I guess we'll get back at some point as well. But that's it for the week. Time to relax. I do still have stuff on tomorrow actually. I have Latin in the morning, and we also have a Greek class, and also going through the collections as well, so maybe 3 things on tomorrow. But that'll be in next week's video, so that'll be a fun place to start. But thank you very much for watching. That's the end of week 1, and I'll see you in the next one.